Join us on the journey as we make our way across several states to reach our anniversary destination. In this video, we take some time to walk through our travel day toolkit of tips and items that have helped us over our 3 years of traveling full-time.
How do you avoid those low bridges? What do you do for routing?
It's pretty easy to tell. You don't have to be a tire expert. It will probably never be a thing, but it never hurts to check.
Some of our newbie mistakes. I never look over there. It's gonna scream at me if something's wrong.
You travel with somebody for 3 years full time, and you think you know them.
And some items that we've ditched. There is an item that we have added a couple of times to our RV.
Honestly, I'm probably not gonna try another one.
But not without a quick stop off to see Isaac.
Isaac has a surprise for you guys. I already know about it, of course.
Cody thinks that you guys get the surprise in this one, but Cody got one too.
I'm so proud. This is like proud papa time right here. Good morning from Columbia, Missouri. We've got about 750 miles to ride to our next location. It's another one of those long travel days. So we wanted to put a video together to really talk about the full travel day process, what tools we use to navigate, what tools we use to get us down the road safely, and to just kind of talk through how we manage these super long travel days. All the other campers seem to still be asleep. So our goal is to get this done as quietly as possible, get hooked up, and get on the highway. You almost forgot something really important.
So you're getting ready to go. You do all of your tests on the RV, which we will go into a little more depth later. But let's talk about things you need to know before you hit the road. One of which is knowing your height. And when we got this new truck, that's something we failed to do right off the bat.
Go up to the front of the AC, the highest point from the ground. Check that real quick.
That wasn't as dramatic as I thought it was going to be.
That's right, because one of the most costly repairs that you can run into is running one of these things under a low overpass and tearing the roof all up. A lot of times it just totals the trailer. So it's good to get on flat level ground, hook up your rig like you're gonna leave, then get on top and measure from the highest point. You're probably gonna need somebody to help you. But once you know your height, how do you avoid those low bridges? What do you do for routing? We love our GARMIN 780 RV GPS. This is a dedicated RV GPS that lets us put in things like our total length and our height and our weight. It helps keep us off restricted roads and out from under those low bridges. It's carried us through a bunch of good trips and we love it. Now I know there's tons of applications, phone apps, and different things that you can do, and those things may be great. I prefer this GPS because it works off a GPS. You don't need an internet to be able to use it. So in places like Big Bend, Texas, where there's no cell service for miles, this thing has been an absolute lifesaver. It does hook up with your phone and give you live traffic data and things like that. So when you do have internet, you have those valuable tools in front of you. I think this thing is worth every single penny. I'm not sure our particular model is still available. I'm sure there's an updated model out by now. But in my opinion, even though they're really expensive, they're absolutely worth having a dedicated GPS for the RV. And while we're on the subject of the Garmin, we recently added on our Garmin dash cam. Luckily, we haven't had to use it, but I have reviewed some of the footage. I have the sensitivity set on high. I feel like the medium level's a little bit low. The high sensitivity, you can go through a big dip in the road and it'll set it off, but I guess it's better to be more sensitive than not. I really feel good about having that in the truck. And of course, yesterday before we left, I went and filled the truck up because even though we have the Open Roads fuel card and a great big fuel tank, I always try to fill up before travel day, especially for these long trips. Anytime you don't have to drag that trailer through a fuel stop, it just lowers your chance of an incident. And we got a lot of miles to run, about 750, and we're going right through Illinois where fuel is very expensive and generally more expensive than the states around it. So my goal today is to not buy fuel in Illinois.
we do like to pack our lunches, even if it's a short day.
I deal with some low blood sugar stuff from time to time. I kind of have to eat on a schedule. It's a weird deal. It's not a big deal, but it's a thing. So having just like a little orange juice or something to keep me from feeling funky on the road works. Unless we pass a Casey's, and then there's always Casey's pizza.
Then all bets are off.
There have been times where you've had the lunchbox all packed up and we end up swinging into a Casey's and not eating it.
Now, we've had some people say that they use lunchtime as their time to get out of the car and stretch their legs. So I think that's a great idea. Whatever works for you.
Yep.
For us, just having something helps. Also, we always bring water, and if it's a really long trip, just buying one of those little $1 jug of waters and toss in the back for easy fill up has kind of helped us. Or if we know we're going to stop on the way, we can always fill it up from our tanks from the RV. So that's kind of a nice option.
For traveling with pets, we've had the little travel water bowl for several years now. We used it even before we were full-time RVing, just in our normal business travels, and we take the dogs with us. That thing works great. It's never spilled once. They really do drink out of it. They even drink out of it in the house. It's kind of their thing. And then Angela always likes to bring their blankets that they lay on and stuff like that. They kind of have a process, and they know when their blanket goes in the truck and the water bowl goes in the truck and all that good stuff, they know it's time to drive, and I think it helps with their anxiety. And of course, we always have to pack a few dog treats in the lunchbox.
It doesn't happen often with our dogs since they've traveled so much, but every once in a while it just seems like certain trips weird them out and they get anxious. But sometimes a treat, I shouldn't have said the T word, sometimes a treat is very distracting and it helps. You forgot a very important thing, Cody.
I might have forgot it, but you didn't.
Flossers. Hand sanitizer, chapstick, eyelid cleaners.
Which only you use.
Eye drops. A straw. You just never know what you might need. Stickers. Today is exciting because we're going to get to see Isaac and Bree. I'm so excited.
Just for a little bit, we're passing through, and we thought since we're going right through there anyway,
it's enough to get us by a couple more weeks.
Isaac has a surprise for you guys. I already know about it, of course.
Who dis?
Who is that?
Ooh, that's pretty. Hi, baby.
Nice truck, kiddo.
Oh, Isaac. You're too good to me.
Isaac finally joined the diesel club. You might remember he had my old F-150 he had bought off of me, and it met a very unfortunate fate due to a careless driver.
227,000 miles later.
227,000? So it's at a Copart somewhere getting picked to pieces, but Still runs. Isaac decided to do a little upgrade and joined the diesel family. So what is this, a 2018? What have you put on it so far in mileage?
In 2.5 miles, it'll be 2,000 on money.
And you like it?
Yeah, I haven't even hit a month yet.
You don't miss your half ton?
No.
For somebody that doesn't travel, Isaac put some miles on stuff.
Yeah, I'll have to show you all my cool add-ons I do with the uplifter switchers.
Oh, did you do uplifter stuff?
Yeah, I got light bar in the front. This is cool. Ready?
So number 2 is what?
Some lights for the inside.
You got an air horn.
got an air horn? Are you kidding? You probably scared my grandbaby right out.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud. This is like proud papa time right here.
So do you guys have an air horn yet?
I do not have an air horn yet.
He is his father's child.
Let's eat.
always a treat to see the kiddos.
Yeah. Something we like to do on these longer travel days is just switch off, just get out of the driver's seat for a little bit. And for us, as a rule, we try to switch off every 2 or 3 hours just so we stay fresh. You can kind of get road tired and you just kind of stare at the highway for so long and you kind of start to get dull. So it's good, in our opinion, to switch off from time to time. We're so excited. Grandbaby's getting close. It's just, it's been a really cool trip to see and be a part of this whole transition. We've got, what, about 170 miles to go before we stop tonight. What is that thing? What is that?
A black tank.
It's the world's largest black tank. So another 2-hour swap off. I always like to walk around and do just some checking on the rig whenever we stop. And one of the first things I like to do is just hit the hubs, see what the temp is. I take this little laser thermometer and just shine it in there as close to the center of the hub as I can. So that one's 72 degrees. This one's 75, just as long as they're close. Really, you're just looking for similar temperatures. If you've got one sitting at 70 and the other one's at 110, you might have a bearing getting hot. It might warrant you pulling over somewhere a little safer and checking things out a little bit. Really, I just like to take a little shot of those, see what's going on. 75, 73, so they're all pretty well close. While I'm down here, I always like to take a look at the tires, at least what I can see of them. Make sure we haven't hit anything on the road, have a big chunk coming out of it or anything weird going on. If you squat down in between, I like to look at the spring hangers. I've never had one break, but I've heard of them breaking. I also like to look at the hanger brackets up here, make sure nothing's bent. These highways are getting really, really rough these days. Honestly, I don't know how this thing holds together staying down the road. And of course, while we're back here, we're just doing a general look. I like to come take a look at our bikes, make sure nothing's come loose. Anything you've got hanging off the ladder, like our honey wagon, looking at awnings, checking baggage doors. Just do a really quick walk around of the trailer. Do the same of the truck. Anytime I stop and we're away from the rig, I always come right back under here and look and make sure that my fifth wheel is still locked in. And with our pull right hitch, you can see that the jaws are wrapped completely around the pin, so we're good. In my history with commercial transportation, and I'm talking 20 years ago, it used to be a common call where somebody would go into a truck stop, get something to eat, come out, take off driving, and their trailer falls on the back of the truck. People have been known to do that as a joke. It's a pretty cruel joke if you ask me. But if that happens to a semi, the trailer just falls onto the tires. It might do a little bit of damage, but not much. If that happens to ours, we're talking about a crushed bed. We're talking about potential frame issues in the front of the trailer from all that weight falling at once. These are not built as well as semis are. It will probably never be a thing, but it never hurts to check.
We have decided to book a Love's travel stop. Has not always been our favorite stops, but we do like how they're automated. And some of them have been really nice. This one actually looks really nice. We're just close enough to Chicago where we didn't want to just wing it on an overnight tonight.
So we've driven 428 miles today. Good day. Good day. And we got to see the kids. So I'll call that a good travel day.
This is the biggest and nicest one we've been to.
Wow, okay. Well, we don't know how to play pickleball, but if we did, we could.
What do you think, Eris? Will you rate the doggy park?
They have a nature trail.
Oh, that is cool.
That is cool.
Okay, so
56.
this is definitely the best.
This is definitely the best Love's RV park we've been to.
Yeah.
Good morning. I might have snoozed my alarm and got up a little later than I wanted to. I really wanted to be out of here at 6 a.m. and it's 7:30. But we need to talk about, as we get ready to go, and we want to do the main things. We want to do a good walk around on the truck and trailer. We want to take a look at those tires, take a look at those springs. Of course, we want to check the air pressure in all the tires. I've checked the truck and we're in good shape. I fired up the TPMS for the trailer this morning and we're in not so good shape. We need about 5 pounds per tire. But a lot of people came in here to the Loves last night. It got really full, so we're gonna hook up and pull it right outside the gate and finish up our pre-travel checklist. I've noticed the TST system is within a half a pound of any other way that I check the tires, but if you want to do a double check, I love these RHINO air inflators. They've got a really nice digital screen on them, and what's great, of course I've outfitted this with a long stem for my dually, but what's great about this is it's got the little side button, so if you need to let some air off, you just hold it in the tire. I've had this for 4 years, going on 5. I think I've changed the batteries once. This thing's pretty awesome. I like to do things like go ahead and get my GPS dialed up for our trip today. We got about 363 miles to ride. I went ahead and went out and sprayed a little bow shield on my 5th wheel hitch to make everything slide nice and easy. So all that stuff's done. I see Angela's out walking the dogs and the slides are pulled in. So it's about time for us to hook up. Lights look good? All right, similar to our stop-off checks, we want to make sure we do a really good walk around. Now we've already done our light check. We already did our tug test coming out of the campsite. The tug test we've covered before. You just want to let the trailer roll forward and apply the trailer brakes. Make sure everything stops. Make sure your brakes work. Make sure your 5th wheel's set up good. Tug test is the ultimate importance before you roll. We know we got to put some air in the tires, but we want to go around and check all the usual suspects. Make sure it's not going to come off going down the road. We're checking all of our baggage doors, even though we just shut and locked them. You never know. That next door neighbor camper comes by to say goodbye. You forget to lock something. You forget to pull an awning all the way in. Could spell disaster going down the highway. We've already made sure our landing legs are up. I've already crawled under and took a look at my leaf springs, make sure we don't have any cracks. I love using my little MILWAUKEE M18 air compressor. It's not fast, but it's convenient. And you'll see why we decided, since it's so early, to pull completely out of our campsite before we do this. It's not as loud as a traditional air compressor, but it's still got a noise factor. I'm just gonna dial it into 110 and let her rip. Make sure that between trips, you're checking these lug nut torques. Make sure they're up to factory specifications. It'll tell you that in your owner's manual, or you'll have a sticker on the trailer of where your lug nuts need to be torqued to. It's always a good idea between trips and every time you stop. Get a little visual of just the overall condition of your tire. And what I mean by that is just look at the tire. It's pretty easy to tell. You don't have to be a tire expert. If you've got a big bulging knot on the sidewall, probably got some separation, you probably don't want to drive on that. Obviously, if there's any kind of cord showing on the tire, and I'm talking about little metal shiny wires, if you can see them, you don't want to go down the road like that. And just an overall condition, because it's not hard, with as bad as some of these roads are getting, to hit something or hit a big pothole, take a chunk out of the tread. Even if you have good tires when you leave, it doesn't mean you're going to have good tires when you get there.
I think I would fire your planner. I don't know who brought us to these frigid temperatures, but I am not a fan.
It's like, it's our anniversary week. Let's go someplace awesome. Someplace awesome also managed to be very, very cold.
And last time we went somewhere awesome, to this place, it was also cold.
Yeah.
What's wrong with us?
Well,
They have warm months. We just need to find them.
seat heater, steering wheel heater, and seat heater on. It's going to be totally worth getting cold. We're ready. You can go to your manufacturer and get a full-on inflation guide. You can weigh individual axles and you can really dial it into the perfect pressure. I haven't done that yet. Shame on me. I probably should. I probably will at some point. But if all else fails, the general knowledge in the RV world is inflate to max cold, which is what we do. For us, that's 110 PSI. We have our TST set on 100 pounds of pressure. So if we have a tire drop to 100, it's going to start screaming at us. And a lot of people ask me where I set my high pressure at. Our tires don't have a max high pressure on the side of the tire. As you roll and those tires heat up, your pressures will increase, and that's normal. For us, on a hot day, they usually get in the 120s. The max is set on 130, and I've never seen it. Take that for what it's worth. This is just what we do, but it's been working for us for about 3 years now.
really early on into our journey, we did change from an air compressor to an air inflator.
Now our little Milwaukee inflator doesn't have an air tank on it. So while you're applying air, it's constantly running, and when it gets to the desired pressure, it cuts off. You still need a power source for either one. For the Milwaukee, it's the M18 battery, which is awesome. One, it saves me a ton of space. Two, I don't have to have a shore power source to do it, or run a generator, or use a power bank. I can just snap a drill battery into it, knock it dead.
We were at Big Bend National Park, but we were driving 90 to 140 miles every single day. What if we get out here and get stranded? It's not a very busy national park.
There's not a lot of cell service. It's very sparse.
So the inflator's been with us for a long time, and we have found and used that thing like crazy. Anyone else completely destroy their lunch by 10 a.m.?
Move that TPMS box over your way so can you see it all right?
I never look over there. It's gonna scream at me if something's wrong.
You never glance at it?
Never have I looked at the TPMS.
You travel with somebody for 3 years full time, and you think you know them, and then you realize they're not even looking at the TPMS. I glance at it probably every so often. I just glance at it and make sure that everything's good. Drinking and driving. Drinking.
There's a pretty big debate in the RV community about how fast you should run. But right off the bat, we didn't know. We got in our RV and our truck and we just took off and did whatever. We tried driving 75 in some of them. I mean, we didn't know.
And there are so many factors. I know the general accepted rule in the RV community is somewhere between 60 and 65 is a max. Every truck's going to be a little different on the sweet spot for fuel economy. On this truck, even empty, if I get over 70 with this 410 rear end, my MPG just starts falling off. If you've got a short, lightweight trailer like we used to have a Jayco, I think it was a 26 RK we pulled with the Ford Expedition, and when we went out west and the wind got up, we'd feel it. We know, even with sway bars and everything else, we would feel it. And there were times going out west where we were running 50 on the interstate. The speed limit would be 70 or 75
or 80
or 80 in places, and we're doing 50 because we could feel the wind moving the trailer. And with that note in mind, if your trailer does start to sway a little bit, reach right down here and grab that trailer brake controller. Don't jerk it, just give it a real gentle squeeze, and what that's going to do is apply those trailer brakes and help bring that trailer back in line and stop the sway. And then you start reducing the speed of your vehicle.
And for someone like me who doesn't think about all these buttons and stuff, if I'm in an emergency...
Or the TPMS. Or the oil pressure, or the coolant temp, or transmission temperature.
It's going to scream at me if there's a problem.
Not if the transmission gets warm.
Technology's a great thing.
Like, what's our current transmission temperature?
This isn't fair to do this to me right now.
You have gauges.
It's in the middle, where it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Wait, it's this one, right? With the sailboat?
The sailboat is your coolant temperature.
It's in the middle.
It's not that one.
It's not?
No, that is your coolant.
It's this oil thing one.
That's oil. That's your oil pressure on the
And it's in the middle.
Yeah.
And this one, I don't know what it is. It's just supposed to be in the middle. It has to, that's diff. So back to the trailer brakes. It's not something I think about. So if I were in a scary situation, I might not think to reach down. So early on, that's something that I did was I just kind of practiced going to the trailer brakes so that it was a little more second nature for me.
And it's a good tip when you pull your trailer for the first time, or maybe you just put brakes on, or maybe you just traded trucks or something, to drive around your campground slowly and apply those trailer brakes and get a feel for exactly what that amount of pressure is going to do, how you're going to react to it. Just familiarize yourself with it. But back to speed, like I said, there's a lot of factors. We have a dually truck, and I'll tell you that since we went from a single rear wheel to a dually truck, we don't feel the wind nearly as much. If it doesn't feel comfortable, if you're white knuckling and you're tense and you're stressed, you're just going to be exhausted when you get there. Drop it down 5 miles an hour. Drop it down where you're comfortable. I'm empty. It's just me, you, and the truck, and I'm doing 80 miles an hour, and this guy is going to pass me with the fifth wheel on.
Ooh, buddy.
There's a dog in the back of the truck too. I'm not really a fan of that with the fifth wheel on, but doing 80 with an RV on, I mean, they're heavy, but they're not that heavy, and it only takes one big gust of wind. What tires do you have on your trailer? Some of these RV trailer tires are not rated for a lot of speed. I know our Carlisles are either rated at 84 or 87 mile per hour. Now, they've never seen that speed, but in shopping for trailer tires in the past, I've noticed some of them are a lot lower, so that's really something you should check.
Hey, stranger.
I think she wants to get
You need to go for a walk, Bear Bear?
You can't take that with you.
Come on.
Come on, baby, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's roll.
Are you sure?
It's like, can I not take it? I won't make a mess, I promise. Who put my truck in little mode?
There is an item that we have added a couple of times to our RV. So this is debatable whether you need this or not, but that's a backup camera. I liked it for traffic, especially when I was getting used to driving and towing. I found it really helpful in being able to see that I was past a vehicle. So I did find it really helpful in the beginning. After a while, I learned my mirrors a little better and it wasn't as pertinent. So we've had a few issues with ours, having to get repeaters and it would lag, and we just kind of got frustrated and got away from the whole backup camera thing. But there is a value there, so just something to think about.
I don't think a backup camera is a have-to thing, especially if you're going from a travel trailer to a fifth wheel or to your first travel trailer maybe. These things are so big behind you, you really have to figure out the sweet spots with your mirrors and get it where you're comfortable. They're almost good for everything but backing up. And we've tried a few different ones. I know a lot of people like Halo View. It's one that I haven't tried. Honestly, I'm probably not going to try another one.
Now, if you are towing something or have equipment back behind you, sometimes that's helpful for that as well.
We are sitting at 786 miles with 7 miles to go, and we left yesterday morning. So that's a pretty good little ride. I'm kind of tired of being on the road, but as we start thinking about getting to our campsite and getting back in and getting everything set up, as you're talking to your partner, hopefully you have a spotter that's comfortable to help you out and get you backed in or pulled in, whatever the case may be. Know each other's signals. One thing Angela and I do is we, instead of saying turn left or turn right, we say cut it driver, turn it passenger. That way, if somebody's standing in the opposite direction, it's not like, okay, is it my right or your right? Which one is it? Just figure out some terminology that works for you and your travel partner. And with communication in mind, walkie-talkies. I miss our walkie-talkies. They finally kind of laid down and failed and quit working for us. And generally a cell phone gets it done, but we've ran into a couple of situations, especially when service is spotty, where cell phones lag and walkie-talkies do not lag.
We know some that even FaceTime, which I think is pretty smart, so that the driver can see what they're doing. So hopefully this helps someone. I know our process is not everyone's process, so let us know what your toolkit is, what it looks like, and we've got some celebrating to do this week.
See you guys on the highway.
Knowing your height before you go under a bridge or you go into a bridge.
Go under a bridge. It's all throughout the West Coast. It didn't take us all throughout the West Coast. It took us
Turn left on Missouri N.
But if in doubt,
continue on Missouri N.
all right, you're gonna
How do I get out of here?
go around.
We've had one thing.
Really close to any other tire pressure. Another thing I went ahead and did before I got ready to, I went ahead and went out.
What do you say?
9:55 Central.
Oh, we moved over into Eastern time.
See, this is where we get to buy whenever we get on Eastern time because you just drop a bunch of stuff.
Throwing stuff.
Because my world.
Oh, you don't have a mic on. No, hurry! Your time is up.
Your time's up.
Time's up. Yeah. Hang on, don't look at it yet. Okay, now you can look at it.
How fast are you running, babe?
What is that called? What is that called? So what did you want me? There's no more gauges.
Disregard. My work and kind of my world, for lack of a better term, runs on Central Time. So I have to be in Central Time no matter where I'm at. Angela, on the other hand, will go into Eastern Time. It's not that big of a deal for me, but somebody just can't adapt.
I adapt to local time.
If you could just see things my way, the world looks better out of this window.
We've gotten pretty... Oh, man. Oh, that's so much water. Eris, why did you do that? You're taking the hit for this one.